Hi, good afternoon, class. And by the time you read this, your Thanksgiving will have been completed. I hope it was a very happy, safe, and blessed one with your families, loved ones. If you had to work, as I had to, I hope that you got home in time at least to spend some time with your loved ones. All right, moving on. We're going into now week 5. We've really kind of past the halfway mark, and now moving towards the end of the course. I'm going to remind you, people still owe me a number of overdue assignments. We're coming through last week. It's a holiday week, and we're coming into the hectic distractions, obligations, pressure of the Christmas season, and how it can hamper your abilities and your efforts to, continue in this course. So, please, if you owe me any kind of assignment, please hand it in. If you're having problems, please reach out to me. Those who are still having problems with the recording, I'm going to work with you during this week and kind of give you the information you need to do to be able to download. As I said, we've got a oral board coming up, and writing them for the whole course really isn't an option, or I'm going to have to start to mark them accordingly that you didn't record them. So as we go into week 6, we're going to look at the police. I'm going to read chapter 6, which deals with the police and a lot of functions of the police, how the police conduct themselves ethically. Some of the things that we're looking at is the scope of police decisions. Police officers have a lot of discretion, but any kind of corruption or any kind of unethical behavior really hurts a department. It hurts the trust in the department. It hurts the communities they serve. It hurts the agency itself. It hurts every hardworking police officer that adheres to ethically and adheres to the rules. And as I said, a few bad apples can really do a lot of harm to a police department. So, as I said, they're going to look at functions of the police, investigation and surveillance, stop and frisk, very big factor here in New York, major federal investigation, federal lawsuit against the New York City Police Department. In fact, I teach a whole module in my classroom teaching here in New York because it was such a hot topic. Arrest and search, once again, Fourth Amendment rights, taking somebody's freedom, searching them, searching their property, searching their homes. Interrogation, which would look at the Constitution's Fifth Amendment and issues related to that. And something that really has come up a lot in the last few years, courtroom testimony. And, many police officers getting into trouble because in their efforts to put away a suspect, they have perjured themselves under oath in the courtrooms. So we're going to look at that, and we're going to look at a couple of issues, that are going to be related to the assignments, and that a couple of terms that you probably will use for the rest of your careers or the rest of your educational careers, because as I've been teaching this course, I find myself using them more and more. One is nonfeasance. In dealing with the police, it's the failure to perform a legal duty. And misfeasance is a failure to perform a legal duty properly. And malfeasance is the commission of an illegal act. And these are 3 kind of factors related to the conduct of police officers that can make or break a case. And we're kind of going to look at it, deeply in the assignments and how we do things. Another part of the reading is going to be an article about former NYPD detective Frank Serpico, who was the lead witness again, in showing widespread police corruption in the New York City Police Department in the late 60s, early 70s in the Knapp Commission. He's the subject of a Al Pacino, Sidney Lumet movie in the 70s. He's kind of a figure that has been on the outskirts, but he usually shows up when there's a major police corruption and gives his opinion. He's a pretty interesting person, no matter how you look at it. And there'll be a video on ethical leadership by the Apple CEO, Tim Cook, kind of dealing, and once again, I cannot stress more that leadership is so important in dealing with ethical behavior in the criminal justice system. As I've cited it, you've cited it, the leadership failures in Chicago, the leadership failures in Kansas City, Kansas, and then I'm sure in Module 4's discussion board, when you're researching police corruption, there is going to be that issue of police failure that comes out constantly. So we're going to look at, once again, for the discussion board, we're going to research a issue of police behavior and kind of research it, read it, and kind of figure out if the acts done by the police officers was an act of nonfeasance, failure to perform a legal duty, malfeasance, failure to perform a legal duty in a proper manner, and misfeasance and malfeasance, the commission of an illegal act. As I said, nonfeasance, misfeasance, malfeasance. Kind of all runs together, so if I got tongue-tied, once again, forgive me. And you're going to do that in relation to a police-related article dealing with some sort of issue with the police department. And then we're going to have another oral board where you're going to be asked, what is your ethical responsibility to your community and your peers? How does this affect your ethical decision-making? And you're going to see some, it's kind of a very gray area, and I'm interested in hearing how you address that, because sometimes what the community wants and what and what your agency wants and the people you work with want are totally different things, and they kind of work off each other. And it'd be a very interesting discussion board, and I'm looking forward to it. If you get this before you see it on last week's discussion board, I've weighed in on a discussion with an incident that occurred in my early in my career, kind of I would say almost my first glimpse of corruption or unethical behavior in a unit that I was working in at the time and the issues related to it. So I would hope that you would look at my post in the discussion board for Module 4, and I'd like to hear your feedback on it. It's something that has stayed with me for over 30 years and of what had happened and the actions of the people involved. And it'd be interesting. I think it's a kind of interesting as I learned from your life experience. I hope you learned from mine. All right, so this is what we've got to do this week. If you owe me anything, please get up to date. We've got a very short period of time to finish this class. A lot of, as I said, pressure, obligations, family life, work, things that, as I said, important things that we need to get done and can hold us back in our higher education pursuits. So if you need anything, I'm here to help. Please contact me. I can talk to you. We can figure out something. I can make any accommodations, anything you need. You know that. You know where to reach me. Have a good week.